Hi everybody, welcome to another card making tutorial at dolallycrafts. This is the card we're making today. I think it's absolutely stunning. I'm not normally one for dark cards, but as you can see, the shine from the embossing on this one is just gorgeous. I think you'll agree. And inside is decorated as well. And I used a lilac, the purple posy, I think it's called. It came out last year. You can't get the ink, all you can get is the paper for it. But I thought that made a nice contrast to the Blackberry Bliss instead of using white, which might have looked a bit stark. So I put this one on instead, and I think it looks absolutely beautiful even inside. There's no sentiment inside, and it's just got thinking of you on the outside. I actually took the always off after I'd stamped it. I brushed all the embossing powder off the always because I just wanted to have thinking of you on this. And as you can see, I've used the gold faceted gems here as well, just for a bit of bling. And as I said, I think this card's gorgeous. I love the colours in the it's one of the essences that was released last year. It's no longer available, but I haven't ordered any of the new papers yet. So until my order goes in tomorrow, I'm working with old stock. But I thought this was a great use of scraps. Now, I also used the Pretty Peacock, I think it's called. Sorry, I'm getting ringing in the ears. There, it's gone. No, it's still there. Okay. I thought Pretty Peacock was one of the colours because I could almost swear that in the background there's Pretty Peacock. But when I looked at the list of colours for the suite, Pretty Peacock wasn't in there. But I think it actually adds to it at the back there. It's a very layered card, but I really love it. I wasn't sure how it was going to turn out, but I hope you agree that this is absolutely stunning. Okay, enough of my waffling on. I'm going to show you how I did this bit here. I got 2 pieces perennial essence, that's what it's called. I got 2 pieces of the perennial essence and cut them to the same size. Then I took some washi tape. I just have to reach and grab my silicone mat. What I did, I put the 2 pieces, they're exactly the same size, laid them down and popped some washi tape just on the edge there, and that was just to make sure these 2 pieces are kept together as they go through my cutting machine. And all I did was lined it up and in no particular order just went along and chopped it like that. And one more. Sorry, it went a bit skew with then. So I've got all those pieces chopped, and so they will sit back together like that. There you can see they're all much the same size. Okay, I'll pop those aside. Didn't mean to chop the whole lot, but I've already got these ones set aside as well. Now, all of the measurements can be found on my blog. I always cut out 2 of each card except when I'm experimenting. So I didn't cut 2 of everything with this one. So I had to go ahead and cut them all out again. So I've got all the pieces. I don't know why that one. Oh, I know. I've got scrap pieces of the Blackberry Bliss and the Pretty Peacock. And that's for the extra stamping. But I've got my layered pieces here. I've also got my 2 gold pieces. I'm only going to make 1 card in front of you, but I've also found in my stash some black foam. Now, I know Stampin' Up's coming up with has just released the white foam that's got the glue on both sides. This was supposed to have glue on one side, but it's so old it doesn't stick at all. So I just found these in my scraps. So I've got 2 smaller pieces cut out and 2 larger pieces. You will see how they go together in a moment. Okay, I'm going to bring in my larger piece of foam and my multi-purpose glue. And this is exactly the way I did it earlier when I was doing my sample, but I'm going to be a bit more sparing of the glue because I don't want it coming between the strips of the paper. So what I'm going to do is peel off the bottom one from the first and pop that on. And as you can see, I've cut the foam to the same size as I cut the DSP. So I'm going to pop that on, trying to keep it straight. Okay, next piece. I'm going to, no, that's not it. I think that might be the next piece. No, that's not it. That's why I was supposed to keep these in order. Okay, that's the next piece. So for this piece, we'll take the bottom bit. So I must have taken the top bit for the first one. So I'm taking the bottom bit for this. Just wipe it off any of the tombow that comes through. Now the next piece, I'm going to take the top piece off and pop that down. As I said, wipe off any tombow that comes out of the way. Now all these single pieces can be put aside for your next card. Okay, next piece will be this one, and we take the bottom piece and slide. I'm going to try and keep that. Oh, it's everywhere now. Karen, you wally. Okay. So we'll pop that. And as you can see, even though there's not that much difference in the layering pieces, there is some difference in the 2 pieces of DSP that I chose. Okay, let's use some of the glue I've got on my finger. So pop that there, and then okay, next piece. So we use the top piece again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, that one is the bottom piece. So where is my other? Aha. So we use the top piece from this one and pop that down. I must have made, no, I've put the wrong piece there, so I'll move that aside. And this is the one that should have gone there, the darker one. Okay. So pop that there. And that's the right piece. Okay, so flip that over and give it a good rub. Like so. Okay, just let that glue dry just a little bit, and then I'm going to come in with my powder bag. And I'm sorry, this card is going to take a little bit of time to put together today. I don't know what that noise was. It sounds like the animals were playing around in the hallway and they've knocked something over. Okay, so we put the powder bag on, and that will hopefully stick to any of the glue that might have been coming out there. Okay, I've got glue all over my fingers, so I'm just going to rub that off. So coming with the Versamark, and I've got Blackberry Bliss all over, and I've just put it all over my Versamark. What a fool. Ah, what a fool. I'm looking for my Versamark pad. It's under the paper. So bring in this messy looking thing. And as I said, I don't mind if there's a little bit of Blackberry Bliss appears on the card at this point. I must admit, when I first stamped yesterday and that Blackberry Bliss appeared on the piece I was stamping, I was horrified. I was absolutely dumbstruck. Now I'm over it. Okay, I'm just going to put a couple of these impressionistic type leaves scattered through, just to give a bit more just a bit more detail. And that will do. I know there's a patch missing there, but that's fine because we do need to put our greeting on here, so that's perfectly fine. So I'll just pop that away for a moment. I will be needing that again shortly. Now, in with the embossing powder. So I'm going to sprinkle this really liberally all over. And now you can see the reason that I sprinkled the embossing powder, the embossing body, all over the paper as well. Okay, I just need my craft knife. Oh. Hold it where there's... There we go. That is a really good impression. I don't know whether it's as obvious on there, but that is going to absolutely sparkle like crazy. And pop the lid on for now, because with the way my luck's going, I would drop it and it would go everywhere after trying to be so careful. Okay. Oh no! See what I mean? I'm really not I'm not destined to remake this card. Okay. Turn your sound down. Okay, it has buckled a little bit. I'm just letting it dry a smidge. Now I'm going to flip it over. And while the foam is still a little bit warm, we'll flatten it out again. It will flatten out completely once we adhere it. So don't worry too much at this stage if it seems to be too curly. See, it's almost flattened out there. Now we're going to bring in a craft knife and a metal ruler. If you don't have it, you need to have a very sharp pair of scissors for this part, so just bear with me for a minute. I'm hoping it's not going to glare too much on your screens because I have a glass mat underneath. So I do apologise, but I'll look at that. When I put it under the lights, look how much that gleams. You wouldn't have thought that if you'd seen it a moment ago, would you? Okay, now I'm going to trim this little bit off here. I have a very, very sharp craft knife. I just replaced the blades. I don't know that I'm going to use that end piece, but what I do is I come in maybe a 1/16 of an inch onto each piece and just take off that little bit. Do the same here. So there's the edge, bring it in just a smidge and trim. Okay, same on the other side of this cut line. So I'm taking, I probably won't use that piece. I'm going to have gaps of approximately 1/8 of an inch between each piece. So there we go, there's the next piece. Now that I've done that, we will line these pieces back up again. Like so. Whoops, that was a silly thing to do. Okay, you can see that it's slightly uneven at the edges. So what I'm going to do, lay my craft knife down carefully and trim just about 1/8 of an inch off the edge there. Move those pieces aside. Okay, and then hold it together. That is not going to work, Karen. You're not going to be able to hold it together. Okay. I probably should have put a piece of washi tape down the edge here. Again. Lay that down again. And another 1/8 of an inch off that side. And there we've got really nice clear-cut defined edges. So move those out the way, and I will bring my Stampin' pad mat back. Anybody who likes jigsaws will love this card. Okay, so it is fairly easy to put them back together. You're just matching up the patterns. They won't match completely, of course, because we've taken pieces out, but you should still be able to get some type of match. There we go, and then that one goes there. So I'll pop those to the side, and I'm going to bring in, now I used Proud Peacock, Pretty Peacock. I can't remember what the name of, of the colour is right now, but I used that because I actually could see that colour in there, even though it's not technically listed as one of the colours on the DSP. Just realised I've got a bit of a fluffy on there. Where's my scissors? Once again, flip all the pieces over. And we're going to bring in the Tombow again. And smear some Tombow just on the back. And I'm going to start from the bottom again. Okay, so we have our base. Now I've just got to take the glass, bring the glass mat back for a few minutes, and just once more trim down one side and down the other, like so. And I'm just going to trim down the bottom here and the top. On the other one, I actually left the border at the top and bottom, but I prefer not having the border there. I think that looks better. Now, there's the card base, and there is our gold border. And I'm just looking, it's been a day or so since I did this, so I'm just checking to see how it goes. Okay, that goes there. Now, this actually has another piece of foam butting up to give it a bit more dimension. So this needs to be 3 1/4. So that should border that perfectly, and yes, it will. So I'll just pop that down again. A bit more of the Tombow, which I'm now running out of. Beautiful border. Okay. I should put the Tombow away, and I'm running out of it really quickly. So Tombow all over the back, and the thicker the better as far as this one goes. And it's now on the card. So we'll pop that aside to dry. I'm going to bring out my large block to flatten it down over at the side there. And then I'm going to come in with the offcuts that I have of the Blackberry Bliss and the Pretty Peacock, Proud Peacock, whatever the name is, you know what I'm talking about. And then in with the 3-pointed floral image from the Floral Essences. I don't remember which way to stamp this. So it gets stamped like that. I didn't put the embossing body on this piece of cardstock because it's already coated in it from when I was doing this yesterday. But I need to put it on this piece because it didn't have any. So in with the leaves. With this, and I'll do one at a time, I think. It's one. That's two. Pop that aside for a moment. Those done, and those done. Now I've noticed one of those leaves is not stamped as nicely as I would like, so I will fast forward through this bit and redo it. Now, in with the punch to punch out. To bring our card back in, and I have to affix one of these on top of the other, but I'm going to give them a bit of curl. Glue dots. And I'm still using the larger one, so I'm getting really good coverage here. Oops. There we go. So that's on there. And then a dimensional on the back. And that will just go on the side here. Like so, and then my glue mat is just put a little bit of tape or snail on the back of each of the leaves, and just pop them under, top and bottom, like so. Then in with the Blackberry Bliss again. I'm struggling to think of the name, and I've just realised I don't have the sentiment out, and I'm using the sentiment out of the Very Versailles. I think this one looks really pretty. And I'm not going to use the Always, I'm just using Thinking of You. However, I'm going to put the Versamark across all of it. Oh. And stamp. There we go. I love not only the font on this stamp, I just love the sentiment. Okay, we'll get rid of this bit because I don't want it showing on the card at all. And if there's even a skerrick of the embossing powder on there, it will be obvious. Okay. Sound down again. Beautiful. Looks absolutely stunning. Okay, pop all of this aside. I have got, even though I was trying my best, I have embossing powder everywhere. Okay, I'm sorry about my camera going in and out of focus. There, okay. Make sure I've got that where I want it, and again, I might take just a little bit more off there. And then I'm just going to come in and banner the edge. I could use one of the punches for this, but I figure some people don't have the punch, so I'll make it a little bit easier. Now, I just need a little bit of the gold as well. So what I'm going to do is line the Blackberry Bliss up along the gold here. And then just a bit of snail along the back there, and then line that up so that we've got an offset. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of snail at one end and just stick that under there, and then that can curl up. So that's the outside done. There we go. How does that look? Now on the inside I actually put Purple Posy on the inside. I don't know that I have any more. Okay, I have one sheet left, so I'm going to use some of this sheet. I've had to bring my Fiskus trim in because I don't know if you heard before, but it went thump 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 down the back of my desk, so I'm going to have to climb under the desk to get the other piece out. The other paper trimmer out. So I'm just going to use my Fiskus for now, so excuse the contraband. Okay, I'm cutting this to 5.5 by 3 7/8, which will give it an 1/8 border all the way along. Now, I'm going to show you an old trick to get coloured embossing on your cards. Clear embossing powder, Versamark, the coloured ink pad that you want to use, which for me is Blackberry Bliss. It's here on the desk somewhere. Okay, this is how I ended up with that on that. Not cleaning my stamp off. So first into the Versamark. Make sure you've got plenty of Versamark on there. Then into the Blackberry Bliss. I'm going to stamp that just in the corner there. Close that over. Pop the lid back on that because we know how clumsy I am. Bring in our clear embossing powder and sprinkle that over the Blackberry Bliss and Versamark combination. Actually, that hasn't covered properly over the top of that leaf petal. There we go. That's better. Okay. Lid back on. Sound down. And voila. We have a beautifully embossed Blackberry Bliss. How is that? So easy to do. Okay, back in with the card. Open it up. And that will sit in there really nicely. So slather it with snail. Because it will buckle a little bit with the heat. That will be enough for this card. And then pop that in like so. Move everything out the way. Open this up. Take out my gold faceted gems. And I'm going to just pop a large one into the centre of the floral. And then one just to the side there. And then this one just up the top. And that gives us a triangle, which the design triangle is supposed to bring your focus to the main elements of the card. So I hope that does it for you. Okay, I hope you liked today's card now that I've finally gotten it finished. And I will speak to you in the next video. I'm not sure what I'm doing yet, but it will hopefully be a bit more simple and less trouble to make than this card. If you feel like helping out a discombobulated demo, I really need to change my name to that. Please consider buying any supplies down from the shopping cart below. You can find all the measurements in my blog, which goes live at exactly the same time as this video does, and you can find the link downstairs as well. Okay, that's enough from me for today. I will speak to you later. Bye-bye.